This is that time we got reincarnated as a podcast dedicated to all the manga, manhwa, and manhwa of the world. Each episode we take one series and talk about what it does good, what it does bad, and everything in between. I'm Ryan,
I'm Ronan.
And I'm Braden.
and this is that time we got reincarnated as a podcast.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Today we are talking about Skill of Lure. We will be going in depth about the whole series, as said. So if you are afraid of spoilers, just leave. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Leave
Or
right
you,
now.
or you could just pause and read it. It's like
True.
No,
it's
leave.
it's
Chapters.
it's very short.
pretty short.
Oh.
There's 36 chapters. Go read it. Have fun. Bye-bye. All right. Skill Lure. I had already read it once, and I think Brain, you read it. You read it as well.
I've also read it once. Yeah.
I'll say it's been a while since I read it, but I think this second reading I liked it even better than the first time I read it. It was really good.
Yeah.
Wait,
Well, actually, I don't know. The second time I read it, I kind of forgot some events, so it was pretty nice rereading.
well, also you kind of like sped read.
Oh, that's fair though. Yeah, I
Because-
kind of sped read it because I forgot to read. I'm sorry.
I found I'll say that like Skill Lure, it's just great, right? It's great. Not only is the story and characters just really good, for lack of a better word, but like it's also a really good. It's almost a guidebook on how to be better and just get women, right?
Well, okay. A lot of this stuff they take influence from like PUA, Red Pill, all that crap, and like the what.
No, keep on going. Keep on going.
But I'm just saying. But I'm kind of glad they also showed like the bad side because like here I won't get spoilers yet, but there's a character in there which kind of shows the
Oh.
toxic side of the red pill side where you become like, oh, I'm only doing this just so I can get a number of women, not because I'm looking for someone. So I'm glad they covered that.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
I'll say it is kind of nice that the whole like the story it gives you the good and the bad side of like using the sort of like tips and tricks it has, and just being a good person comes first. I like that. I really like that.
Mhm.
Relatively respect women. So is there's catchphrase. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. So I found that really nice. Do you have anything, Brayden?
I mean, I liked it because I feel like it's a good confidence booster for some people. I feel if they read it and they can like take I don't know, take mental notes. I mean, obviously you shouldn't copy fiction, one to one. I think using some of the advice that they gave, I don't think would work, in real life. But I think it's definitely like a confidence booster and like I don't know. And they have like kind of common sense tips like just like dress better and have confidence, stuff like that. So
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's also good.
So it's true that maybe don't listen one to one what they say. I mean,
Yeah,
some things are
definitely.
a little strange, but like it's true that in some ways some of this is pretty applicable. I'd say,
Hmm.
especially. I mean, early lessons obviously very applicable. Later lessons less so, but still somewhat
Yeah.
there. And we'll go over that. I have the list of all the lessons in here.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Okay.
I
They
listed
should have
them
had
all out.
they should have had an arc about like work gym and working out. Honestly, I think that could have made it better
Well,
too.
they did have the arc where
Where like
he's
before he became the master, right?
yeah. So well, like not only the where the men became the master, but also they do talk about in here around I forget which chapter it was, but there is a chapter pretty early on. Yeah, chapter 5 where it's they give the tip, hey, staying healthy is good for you, and it'll also help you just in general, with women
Yeah.
and everything. I mean, it's good. They make it clear also that hey, fitness, don't forget about it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess. Well, they did. They were just showing running, but I meant more like weightlifting
Well,
can
yeah,
also
that's
complement.
true, but it's implied throughout the whole series that they
Yeah,
continue to
that's
do the routine of working out in the mornings, and so
that's
it
fair.
works.
Fair.
It works.
I think the only thing that could make this better was if there's like some reincarnation or some dungeon
Oh
Yeah,
my
experience.
if
god.
they cultivated a bit, to the ninth realm, especially,
Yeah, yeah.
I definitely
Oh
would have.
my god,
We're
where was
past
the
the second
Muram
heavens.
RPG stuff? Where like honestly, if why wasn't there a tower and why didn't he get like the skill menu that pops up every time he finished a new lesson? Like come on. Obvious stuff, man. Obvious stuff.
Why wasn't there an arc where like in his old life he was actually like a pickup artist master and
And
he could have a skill tree just trying to get every skill as he was taught them.
Oh my god.
Man,
Um
so are we like in spoilers right now? Are we able to say?
um I
Because I
think okay, I want to go through the
okay,
my anime list synopsis first.
alright,
Just
yeah,
a little bit, and then we're probably going to enter spoiler territory as we go through the chapters.
alright,
So the synopsis on my anime list says Sung Gi Jang is cursed with the persona of a complete pervert. To all his peers, he is a fiend who only hungers for women. Yet in reality, he just has terrible social skills, making him incapable of properly expressing his intentions and feelings to the women around him. On top of that, he seems to have the worst luck there can be. This all turns around when Jae Huang, a fellow student and good friend, witnesses Sung-gi completely shattered and decides to help him out. What Sung doesn't know is that Huang is actually a master in attracting the opposite sex, a pickup artist. From square one, Sung-gi builds up his conversation and interaction skills with women through several trials and tribulations. He soon learns how much depth and finesse there is in properly conveying intimate emotions to others. As he learns about the subconscious signals sent out by people, Sung-gi finds himself paying more and more attention to a particular girl in his class, and he puts to use the skill that he was lacking before, the skill of lure.
ooh,
Wow.
title drop,
Name drop.
yeah,
Name
name
drop.
drop.
That's crazy, dude. Um, I will say that the synopsis is it's accurate to a degree, I'd say. I mean, it's true.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know. I remember when I first read or before I first read the series, I remember reading this and the synopsis and I was like, this sounds so fucking stupid. I thought it sounded so stupid. Um, I don't know why I thought it sounded stupid, but it was just like I thought it was going to be a trashy, ecchi
yeah,
rom com,
it
right?
really does sound like that,
It
but
sounds like a trashy ecchi rom com, and in most scenarios, this probably would turn into a trashy ecchi rom com. But here, they did something impressive in that it doesn't turn into that. It does quite the opposite. It's light on ecchi elements for the most part. The ecchi elements are there as in wacky shenanigans, but then the whole rom com bit it exists, but it's more so the romance than the comedy. Comedy is there, but it takes a backseat when the romance comes in, which I think
It's a
is
vehicle for the.
yeah, it's a
yeah,
vehicle for the plot, which I think is really good.
Also, the
Um,
art is really good.
honestly,
oh
yeah,
yes, the art.
Like it's not standard manhwa art, which I'm glad.
Yeah, no, like so comparing it to I think most manhwa I've read, it's quite a lot better. In I mean some cases it's the art kind of takes a backseat, but that's because it doesn't need to be the forefront. Sometimes it's for comedic effect, sometimes it's for whatever else. But when they want the art to shine, the author really makes it shine, and I think that's
Mhm.
what is so good about it.
Yeah. Oh, honestly, I would say like since it's an older manhwa, I feel like a lot of the older ones had more stylization compared to like after Soul Leveling
Mm,
dropped, everyone wanted to copy that style.
yeah, that's true.
yeah,
Solo leveling was kind of the catalyst for like every manhwa wanted to be solo leveling.
Yeah.
Which, so having things, reading things from prior, you get a lot more. I mean, I'd honestly say uniqueness, as we were joking about earlier with Murim and cultivation. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of that stuff in more modern manhwa, due to just the recent sort of, I guess, trends.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think Scholar is good. So I guess now, we can move into sort of chapter by chapter look, I guess.
Yeah.
Little look see it, like, each chapter, see what it does good, see what it does bad. Some chapters, maybe something weird happens. So I guess this is
Oh.
the final spoiler warning,
Yeah.
and we'll start off
You
with
haven't.
chapter
Wait.
1.
Wait. Let me just say also, you get really bad secondhand embarrassment like me. I don't know. I had to put it down for like the first 10 chapters, each chapter, just because I was cringing every time he did something stupid. I was like,
Yeah,
ah.
that's
But
true. It's not office levels of cringe, but it can be pretty
Yeah.
bad. Just
yeah.
keep that in mind. And so, chapter 1, it starts immediately. Like, literally the first thing you get when you open Skill of Lure, chapter 1, is just the dude lifting the skirt of a girl and seeing her panties immediately.
Yeah,
We
that's
should
kind
And
of.
we should say by their name though, right?
hmm?
Start saying their names though. We can
Oh,
say
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but we don't even know any of them yet. We don't know them
Yeah, we
in
you really don't.
first
Yeah.
chapter.
oh yeah,
So,
that's fair. That's fair.
he lifts the skirt of this girl, sees her panties, and it's just all hell breaks loose immediately. Immediately. And
Hmm.
this it's a great way to start the series. I mean, in some ways, I'd say great as in it gives you, it not only gives you like context, I guess, but also it's immediately sort of sets the tone of what's to come, without sort of, I guess, saying too much.
Yeah.
They just kind of go into it, which is nice. It's kind of bad in another way, because I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people who will just, they'll see the panties and be like, "Oh, it's trash. I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'm out
It's
of
like
here."
etchy trash. I'm out of here.
Yeah, because there's etchy trash. Is just it's so common. I mean, it's every isekai, right? It's terrible. I mean, even us. God, jeez,
Yeah, even us.
we're
Yeah.
fucking etchy
I
trash.
think what I'm wondering, the main question is, how is this man not like got arrested already? You
That
know?
Oh,
is
the law
that is
there.
a good point. I may not
Yeah,
know
Well,
the laws in Korea, but
but that
well,
he
constant
I feel like
consecutive
every
sexual harassment, I feel, is not a good look on you. You know?
but on the train, like every time something happens, the woman like he something weird happens to him. It feels like they're about to report him, and then something happens so that it doesn't. It goes right.
I maybe I
It
guess
just looks like they hit him.
they just
They just kind of hit
violent
him.
they treat his sexual misconduct,
Whoa.
with
Oh,
violence. That's how
yeah,
they
Well,
yeah.
fix it.
I don't
there
know
was
if that's
one
a.
time at least. Well, that would be a spoil. Okay, we can get into
Oh
that
yeah,
later.
no. Okay, yeah, that was later. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
So
Let's keep going.
that I mean that's great. We immediately find out. I mean, the main character. I mean, he can't interact with women. That's his issue. He can't interact with women. All he does is just get owned. That's it. He says it's a misunderstanding, but he's just a retard. That sucks. That's
Hey, you
tough.
can't say the R word.
Oh my
Oh,
Oh, you're
god.
gonna have to.
demonetized,
Oh,
demonetized.
it's
You're
over.
gonna have to edit that in post. Actually, I don't. Is that considered part of against YouTube
You
guidelines now?
probably
It's
sh I think it
not.
is. It's not,
It's
really?
not.
Whoa.
Okay.
It's not a swear word, right?
Eh,
Probably.
whatever.
So yeah, he gets on the train, with the gentleman pose, which is, I mean, it's
You
a
can just
pose,
flash
all
a picture.
right.
You can just flash a picture of the screen.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait.
I mean, he looks stupid, and immediately, like on the train, I mean, again, straight into the etchy crap. Just like looking at panties, looking at boobs, looking at ass, like all of that. And then he falls into a girl's tits. I mean, it's what do you expect? And then he just he gets owned. He gets owned. And I mean, it's a great introduction, but at the same time, it is tough to read. It's funny
Yeah,
though.
it really is.
It is funny, but it
And
is
then
tough to read
the
because you
ending
just
panel though.
the paneling is pretty good here. I gotta be honest. I think how the actions are shown off, I guess.
You just kind of gotta feel bad for the dude. He's just like flopped down crying.
That
Oh
face
yeah,
is
and yeah, and
hilarious.
the final panel of chapter 1 is just him on the ground crying and just sad, and it's it's really good. It
It's
is
such a great panel.
it is a perfect panel, which is why it's the thumbnail of this video.
Ooh.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah. However, chapter 1 isn't done actually at the end of that first point. It actually continues going and introduces us to some guy who's really hot. Oh my god. Who could he possibly be? He's definitely not important.
Whoa.
No, never. I mean, yeah, he's a main character. You can tell he's a main character.
Yeah. He's got that vibe.
Yeah, I mean he does. And then I think it's quickly pretty obvious who he is. I mean they not only do they make it like they don't say it outright, but they make it apparent that he is, you know, ooh, something else due to just how he's introduced.
Yeah.
They introduce the second main character, Huang Jae Na. He's in the second chapter, or in this first chapter at least. He's described as like disgusting and grody, and I mean he looks at. That's all. That's what you get, right?
I mean, literally described by Sungi in there from quotes. It's for you, bro. Will most likely be no woman in your future. So that should give a good idea in your
Yeah.
head what he looks like.
Yeah, and it's quickly obvious. It's like maybe he's not what he seems. I mean, obviously. I mean, he has a little. He has. I think immediately Huang Jae has a presence. Even before you really like know him, he has this kind of presence on the page. Not only is he just funny, but he just kind of holds himself in a certain way that just kind of he takes your attention.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's cool, because you don't have to. You don't have to like know what happens to immediately be like, oh, this character is cool. I kind of vibe with him. You don't have to know. It's done all through kind of the artwork and the dialogue, and that's great. I like that a lot. Yeah. So it continues. Sungi gets into another accident.
Yeah.
Same girl on the train.
With the same girl from the train, and somehow ends up in banging position with her. Like, what the? I just wanna put it out there. How the hell does he get in that position? Just how does
Honestly,
he do
yeah.
that? Like I can get making a mistake and like tripping and falling into. I know it's fiction, but like God. Bro, like you don't end up like that. That's not how that goes.
He even had his fly open too.
He did, yeah. I mean it, and then I think the weirdest part of this chapter, SpongeBob.
No, that is not that is my favorite part. Look,
Why
I've
SpongeBob?
I've been looking at SpongeBob for like 5 minutes now. This
Yeah,
panel is
why?
great.
Why though? Why is he here?
Dude,
That is
come on, he doesn't even have it.
weird.
SpongeBob doesn't even have his pants, dude. Hey, why is SpongeBob there? Who knows?
It's Strange.
Copyright?
Wait.
Copyright?
Yeah,
Yeah,
copyright.
I mean that's what I would think. I'd think like the
Actually,
copyright
wait.
would not allow this, but
Why is there a sponge on top of the lockers? You make a good point.
um
What's he doing
I
there?
mean, yeah,
What's
not
it
only
doing
is
there?
it a sponge, it's
Yeah,
SpongeBob.
it's SpongeBob.
Why
What
is it
is?
SpongeBob? I can't. I can't do it, man. I can't.
Oh wait, I just caught this.
Yeah, no, it's
Hey, you
it's
did. Yeah.
No. But there's a line where he describes when he's describing the girl when he first recognizes her again. He says the big titty girl from the train. I did not. I completely looked
yeah, that
over that.
immediately like kind of symbolizes Sungi's character.
Yeah.
Wow, it's the big titty girl from the train. It's not just like the blonde chick. Come
Yeah.
on, Sungi, get it together, man.
This man's not
I
all
mean,
there.
like he immediately is just like just a man moment. It's a man moment, right? But then she's his savior because she doesn't try and beat him up for being a pervert. She says, "It's okay. You're fine. Definitely fine. Sure." Mm. And then that's the end of chapter 1. So like it's a good opener. I mean, it's fine, right? I don't know. I mean, there's not much else to say about it. I mean, it's just good.
Yeah.
It's a good opener. Gets you introduced to the series. It's just good. I think not much else to say there. But then chapter 2, we get into chapter 2 here. And obviously Sungi is like, wow, this girl's angel. She's amazing. So now he's like, he thinks, oh, I'm in. I made it. I'm done. I'm good. Meanwhile, Huang Jie is being a goober. I mean, a real goober.
Yeah, he's kind of goobing out.
He's goobing for real.
He's got some moves though.
Yeah, he does, bro. He throws it back. I mean, he goes all in. Yeah. I mean, most of this chapter, it's fine. It just clearly shows that Sungi is he's
A cringe lord.
I mean, he's just
Yeah.
cringe. He's a cringe lord. And Huang Jie makes it very obvious to Sungi. He tells him there's more to a man than just his money and looks. He makes it very apparent. And this is like the first like immediate instance where Huang Jie seems like a little more than what he lets on.
Yeah.
And it's subtle but sweet. And then of course Sungi is like doesn't pay attention at all because his brain's too his brain's too like freaking soft. I don't know. too stupid to realize what was even told to him.
He
And
invested all of his time in studying.
Yeah,
Literally.
Yeah.
street smart's a little low. Just a little low.
He actually is smart, but
Yeah.
He is shown off as being book smart, but he is definitely not when it comes
Street
to
smart,
He's
yeah.
not street
Yeah.
smart. He's not. He doesn't have common sense at times.
at times. you
At
mean just, like,
times, I mean,
every time.
yeah. Like when he wakes up from his dream and is kissing a girl's butt.
Yeah.
Definitely great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And then the midpoint of 2 ends kind of with them showing off, oh, Yura's a
Not so nice person.
she's not so good. She's not so good.
She ain't too nice.
He might be a
That's-
digger of the gold, right?
Ooh,
Yeah, ooh.
perhaps.
You're the blonde girl, by the way. So
Yeah, Yura is the blonde girl. Probably should have made that clear. She's blonde. She was from the train. That is the person who Sungi is getting into. Sungi's our main character. If I didn't mention that, I probably didn't. Whoopsies. Yeah, and so the rest of chapter 2 is Sungi being like, oh, I gotta give Yura a gift. I gotta give her a gift, man. I gotta buy, if I can buy it for her, You love me. I mean,
Yeah,
ah,
he's kind of hard simping.
he's hard simping. He starts out as the Giga Simp. It's
Yeah,
terrible. Oh my god, it's terrible. And then, like, I think the most surprising thing has got to be the fact that, like, I mean, like, so the chapter goes on, and then Sungi just ends up being stupider and stupider throughout this whole thing. Like,
yeah,
he sees Yura. There, she's walking on the street. Yura's clearly not having any of him, and then he notices she has the handbag and that she wanted him to buy, and it's like, oh my god, how'd you get that? Where are you going? Can I talk to you? And then he just squeezes her boob again, and then Sungi gets freaking killed. He gets punched in the face and deaded, and then Yura just literally straight up says, "Why don't you get out of my sight, you fucking perverted loser?" And like, if it wasn't obvious before, Yura is not a role model. Neither is Sungi. None of these people are role models.
yeah. None of these people are role models.
They're all kind of bruh
In the
moments.
distance, Wang Jie is watching.
Yeah, Huang Jie is watching. And then, of course, Sungi is about to kill himself over this because he's stupid. And Huang Jie is like, get it together, man. Get it together.
Exactly.
I will teach you how to get someone who is good for you. The art
Men.
of
Oh.
the seducing women.
Oh yeah.
And
The
and
last
that
page, he
and
goes full
that's
Chad move.
that is chapter 2 right there. It ends and you're just like, oh, Huang Jie, you're sexier than I remember. Oh my.
Whoa.
You got a little something going on there. Woo.
He reminds me of someone, you know?
Ooh,
Yeah.
I think
he,
we've seen
maybe
his
a
face
little
before.
bit. Yeah, his hair is a little stylized there. That's interesting. It's very interesting. Okay, we're back from a little piss break here.
Yep.
And I mean, the introduction to the series is great. I mean, it's great, right? Chapters 1 and 2, they do a fantastic job of
Setting up. You know.
yes, setting up the series and just, I mean, yeah, it's good. I mean, you get to know the main characters of Sungi and Huang Jie and Yura pretty well, and that's really all you need, you know. So it does a good job of like the start of the series. It's good. I like it. From here on, we're gonna be going away from specifically chapters into just talking about bits and pieces that we found good or not as good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I do
no, you can go.
I do want to talk about I'm still hung up about his description of Wang Jie in his form though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't understand like so he Sungji
Sungi.
describes him
Yeah.
Sungi what the hell he describes Huang Jie as he styled himself, but he's not that good looking. He's smiling, but it's kind of bleh. He's wearing fancy clothes, but it doesn't look good. I don't know if it's just the art style where everyone looks good, but I think he's a good looking guy. I don't know.
Yeah. Like I thought he looked fine.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. He's just in cope mode.
Yeah, it's
It's
just
like he can't be this hot.
Yeah, no,
he cannot
like,
be this hot.
It's clear that Huang Jie is hot as hell. It's Sungi's just like he can't be hot. He can't. It's
Yeah.
not possible.
Bitch baby. Yeah.
Yeah, he's being cringe.
Yeah. Little cringe baby.
And then I want to talk a little bit about some of the lessons that Huang Jie kind of goes over. Some of the ones that I felt were pretty good or pretty bad. Like he talks about approach anxiety, which I think is really a useful thing to keep in mind if you're trying to
Yeah.
talk to someone. I mean,
That's not even like a pickup thing. I feel like that's just like a
just in
regular skill
general,
thing, and just in general, it's a good thing.
it's nice
Mm-hmm.
to get that reassurance and be like, oh, it's fine. People keep this natural distance. It's okay to, feel uncomfortable trying to break it. I mean, everyone is uncomfortable trying to do that.
Yeah.
And that's just a good thing to remember.
Yeah.
Um, Taking care of your fitness, also a good lesson. I don't think anyone can say otherwise.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Staying healthy is kind of important,
it's,
you know?
it's kind of
It's just it's
important,
just a bit, it's just a
just a
bit.
little bit.
Just a
You
little
two
bit.
should follow that advice too.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying.
Don't worry. I'll be working out this semester, man. I swear.
Sure, sure. Tell you will show me your routine. Send me your routine.
Oh yeah, yeah. After this, I'll send you the routine.
Gotcha.
And then the
But
other the other kind of nice lesson was when Huang Jai told Sungi that the art of seduction is that it's taking the feelings that you have and translating them into words. Pretty much just saying, be genuine. You're not trying to pick up chicks for the sake of picking up chicks. It's to you want to be in the relationship.
Yeah.
Just be
uh,
yourself, and that's really good too.
another one I want to talk about is like so Wang Jie was like approaching a girl at the
Oh
convenience
yeah,
store.
yeah.
You get like they have a nice conversation. But she's like she has a boyfriend, so she rejects him. And then so Sung Gi thinks that he's like, oh man, the Riz master failed. How can what do you mean? So like they have a discussion outside, and Wang Jie is just like it's not a failure. It's just that I gave her the chance to get her to know me, and she didn't. She has a boyfriend, so that's her fault, or not her fault. That's the wrong words. That's she. It was her and his quotes. It was her. Uh, it
Her
was
choice
her
to
choice to
not take the
launch.
chance to get to know him.
Yeah, yeah, and that's a good mindset to have because uh, Ryan discussed it. Well, actually, no, I'll skip that.
Yeah,
But
yeah. But basically, I think it's really good because it's a good mindset to have because it's
you won't click with
people
everybody.
people just like
Not people often get hung up, I feel.
a lot of people do get hung up on just being rejected or not even taking the chance to be rejected. It's not about that. It's like everyone, like not everyone can be friends and get along with everyone, so it's okay to take that chance and try and meet someone new. If that doesn't work out, that's okay though. That was their choice. Maybe you didn't mesh well together, or maybe there was some other circumstances. That's fine. They weren't willing to take that chance, but that's okay because other people will, and that's the main takeaway there. um
And that's a good thing because if you try to be friends or with know everybody, I feel like you'd have an identity crisis. Like you wouldn't know who your
Like
true
who
friend
you,
group is,
yeah,
like
yeah,
who
yeah.
you are, like
Yeah, I would say
what are
like
your
rather who
actual
you
interests.
are. Yeah.
yeah, if you're
So
if you're trying to be someone other than yourself just to be friends with people, then I mean that's another issue entirely, which I
Yeah.
think I really like this manhwa because it feels like its main purpose is it's trying to tell the reader it's okay to be yourself. It's okay to just talk to people. It's okay to take a chance. And it's really nice to see that because I feel like a lot of series kind of rush past that idea. It's always just obviously the relationship is the focus in most romance stories, and that's fine. But sometimes it feels like they're either way too focused on the drama in the build up to the relationship or just the lovey-dovey actions after the relationship is done. And that's I really don't like that cuz it takes away from that aspect of like the change and the improvement that people go through in the trying to, you know, get with someone. Like there's a lot more
Yeah.
there in personally, like intrapersonally, that I feel like is not really looked over in most stories, but in Skill of Lure, it really is the forefront, and that's what I really like about Skill of Lure, honestly.
Hmm.
Yeah. Uh, so one thing I want to mention a little bit is, and now I don't know if this is the translation we read or something,
Oh yeah, yeah.
but um, there are two things in particular. First of all, lesson 7 does not exist at all.
Oh wait, really?
There's
I
just
didn't.
there's
I thought you were talking
no
about something else. Oh,
no. I'll get there. I'll get there. Lesson
okay.
7 doesn't exist. Very weird. They skip from 6 to 10, then to 8 and 9. Seven's gone.
I mean,
I don't know what
Maybe,
that was
maybe,
about.
maybe you already had lesson 7
Yeah,
down.
lesson 7. Manor hands. That's what that was. Lesson 7's manor hands. Hold that
every time
pose
we say
whenever you
manner
see
hands,
women.
yeah, we have to every time we say manner hands, you gotta flash a picture of
I'll
Sungi
put it
doing
up. I'll
that.
put it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. And then also, in the translation we read, the main girl's name is for most of the story. It's sea as in like ocean, and then na, sea na, and then but then at the very end, it changes to Senna, like
Yeah, like
I
Sena, right?
yeah, Sena. Um, I looked it up a little bit. I think it's Senna and not Cena,
Yeah,
because
translators.
translators, man,
Yeah,
I don't know what they were
elbow.
on. They were doing something. But that was pretty confusing.
Maybe it's
On
because we're
the first
pirating.
read. Wow,
Or wait, what?
that's
I mean,
What
uh.
do you?
what? Or I mean, yeah,
Aside
what?
from
Huh?
that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
what are
So,
you talking? We don't
yeah,
pirate. We
yeah.
read
Oh,
Pirating is
everything
bad.
legally.
Do not pirate. That's a
Pirating is
lesson right there
bad.
yeah,
too.
Do not
Yeah.
yeah.
pirate. Read your manga,
Please
manhwa, and
buy them
manhwa
legally.
legally, please, please,
We're,
please.
we bought this manga on Billy Comics. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's Chinese, by the way. It's just
yeah, yeah. Anyway, uh, um,
I
uh,
think there was a very important. I know I'm skipping a bit.
okay,
The
okay.
very last lesson, I think, is very important.
Oh, I
The
think yeah.
lesson of there is no skill of lore. I think that's kind of a good lesson,
I
right?
really, I really like how it tied everything together, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the series is, you know, just Sungi being in a situation and being like, what do I do? How can I improve myself? How can I talk to the person and just get something out of this, right? And then Huang Jie is there as his Deus Ex Machina to be like, bro, it's okay. You got
Lesson
me.
number blah blah blah.
Listen,
You know.
blah, eat my blah, and it's like,
Okay.
and it's like, and then Sungi is like, he's just infinite Riz, right? That's the main structure of the story for the most part.
Hmm.
There are like a few changes in there, but and I'll get to the one of them later. But the main one is nearing the end of the story, where it's clear that Sungi is, I mean he wants to be in a relationship with Senna, and you know that's great. You know, he's found a girl that he likes, and maybe she likes him.
Ooh.
Ooh. And Sungi in this process accidentally messes up and confesses early, and then does the unthinkable. He said it was a joke,
Damn.
which and this is a really good. I really like this writing trick here. He said, by saying it was a joke, the writer made Huang Jie make a connection in his backstory, so where he did the exact same thing. Huang Jie kind of like confessed, quote unquote, to the girl he liked, but then said it was a joke because he was so afraid of what she would say. And then this comes back to him in this moment. This none of this is said in particular. None of this is said or even like shown fully. It's implied though that this kind of that his backstory comes back to him in this moment. And for when Sungi tells Hwang Jae that he said it was a joke, he bestows the final lesson of there is no skill of lure.
Yep.
You are a good person. Do what you think
think is best.
do what you think is the right choice.
Mhm.
And this is such an impactful lesson because throughout this whole series you are taking you're taking all this information in of, oh, you can do this to like get bitches and like, oh,
Yeah.
you can do this and they'll be jealous of you and they'll think you're alpha male of the group, and it's like you
Amog.
the AMOG, yes, the AMOG. But all that matters, like none of this matters. Yes, some of them may be applicable. Some of the lessons may be true, but none of that matters. What matters is you doing what you think is right and just taking that chance and going in there. And that is why there is no skill of lure. It's just be yourself. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. That and that's not the total ending of the series, but it is like easily that is the point of the series, and I love that. I love that a lot. And then the other point in the series to which the main sort of story plot kind of like the main sort of like style of the chapters kind of gets changed up is when they introduce the antagonist.
Oh,
Han
Bum Man. Bum Man.
Which I'm not trying to be rude, but they had to have been trying something with that name, right? Right?
Yeah.
Is that just me?
Nah, I think they were trying something with it.
Han Bum Man.
I will say he does look better with his buzzed hair though. He
In
looks,
the end, with the
I
buzz
don't know,
thing.
in the with his long hair, he looks like a discount Yagami. Like Yagami.
Discount
Yeah.
light.
Yeah, discount light.
Oh my god, I can see it. Yeah.
Don't you feel like his character is like the complete antithesis of Lesson 17 though, right?
Um.
In a way.
Yes, it is, and that is actually, kind of. It's not brought up in the moment, but it's true that lesson 17, which is congruence, by the way, for anyone who hasn't
Living
read
up
the
to your
series.
words. Yeah.
Living up to your words, basically being consistent between your words and your actions. So if you, and the example in the story is, oh, if you say that littering is wrong and then you litter, they're gonna remember that. Like, it's gonna be the telltale freaking thing. X will remember this action. It's that, right? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Han Bum Man very clearly shows that he is not congruent between actions and words. I mean, he is for the most part, but in like a fake way.
He's the opposite of what Hwang Jae has been teaching Sungji, just like because he just sees women as a number. He's going on dates
Just trying to get 100.
Just because it is a date, and he approaches Senna, I guess we can call it, because
What
out
was
of
the thing he
spite
had? Wasn't it like he had to get like 100 numbers like
in a day or
In
something?
a
a
day,
day,
yeah, and it
yeah.
was like
Yeah.
it was 100
Day
numbers a
300.
day. Yeah, it was
like
day
324
1300 or something.
Yeah.
And one date a day too, I'm pretty sure, right? I forget.
Something like that. I
Yeah.
don't remember. But
But
yeah, so he is. He's the antagonist, and he's his whole thing is he sees women as like he just there are people who he's dated and there is with, and people who are waiting for him, and that is so egotistical, it's insane. And also the opposite of, as you were saying, what Huang Jie is teaching Sung Gi, where it's not about the women, it's about being yourself and trying to find the person for you, which causes the kind of, I guess, the main conflict in the end, which is Sung Gi is like, don't take my woman, and Bum Man's like, she's not yours. She's not yours. She's mine. Woo! It's like, damn.
I kind of find it fitting that Han Bunman is also the reason why Huang Jie became the Riz Master too.
It is very fitting. I like that. Is that Bum Man is like, he caused Huang Jie that's Huang Jie's backstory, is that Bum Man came in and just rizzed all over his girl, and then
whoa.
Don't you?
he rizzed all over, and then Huang Jie, in turn, breaks his spleen, and then they both end up in the hospital. That breaks Bum Man's streak, and Huang Jie, while in the hospital, rizzes up, and
he
becomes
he becomes the Riz god.
Yeah, and then that defeats Bum Man. That defeats him, and he goes away for a while.
For now, and then
obviously he comes back. Try and take on Huang Jie, but in the end, he ends up failing, as it turns out, because Sung Gi is a chill dude and cool, and like, there is one moment, and I'm gonna get to this now. There's one moment where Sung Gi just, oh my god,
he lays it out all.
He rizzes up. He does, and it makes me so proud. There's this one part, Sung Gi goes on a date, or not a date, he's like eating food with Senna or whatever, or something. I forget exactly what's up, but Senna was like, oh man, I like you only ever see the worst parts of me, and I'm so bad and stupid. And it's like, hey, come on. And Sung Gi does the GOAT tier status thing of just telling her, it's okay. You don't have to be perfect. Everyone just sees this perfect version of you. You aren't that. You're more than that. And it's this, like, it's this nice thing he says to her. It makes her feel better. Not only is he being GOAT, she's feeling better about it, and then that stays in her mind, because, like, damn, Sung Gi, kind of nice guy. And then after going on this date with Bum Man, she realizes you give off this air of perfectionism, where it's like, it was, you were too perfect. I couldn't feel your honesty. And I really like that, because it's like, and that is great, because it just shows, hey man, Sung Gi, he's been through a lot, but he's also seen a lot from Senna, and people are not perfect. It's working through those bumps in the road, and then like just working through it, right? I mean, that's all that is. And I found that revelation also to be just a really good one. And obviously that's the end of Bum Man after that, because Bum Man goes fucking crazy and starts being rapey. And that was weird, but
I'm gonna be honest, that scene, I think I gotta say one thing, and there's one thing that I want to talk about. Sung Gi, bro. He was Chad, but then he was cringe. I'm gonna be honest, a bit cringe. After he punches, dude, he needs to work on his one-liners. Ladies should be respected. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's like a white knight's wet dream, I feel.
That's a blue pill.
Ladies should be respected.
Okay, like,
and then all
the line is genuine. Yeah, the line is genuine, but I don't. It's like I don't know. I don't know what to say.
It's true that in the moment, it's kind of like, okay, bro, like
Yeah,
maybe
it's corny. I
it's a
feel.
little corny. Come up with better
Yeah,
one-liners next time after you punch a
yeah,
man. I
yeah.
mean,
Just
God,
phrase it better. Yeah, like the message was good. Just
The message is good, but I mean, he needs to work on his one-liners a bit.
women should be respected.
It's like okay, but
It's okay, it's okay, buddy.
and all the yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh my gosh, he's so cool for
yeah,
saying that.
and then
What?
he rizzes all over them.
Dude, you gotta stop saying that.
This is all over.
But yeah,
Man, don't you love Sungi with his wrist and then he comes and rizzes all over you?
yeah, dude, dude. Yeah,
So stupid.
it's so stupid. Anyway, uh, yeah. I, I understand where you're coming from. Um, yeah. There's a couple. Okay, some lessons are not good. I'm
Yeah,
gonna be real.
that
Some
is fair.
lessons not that good.
Like
I think. I mean, this should be pretty obvious, but the induced jealousy
Oh yeah,
lesson.
no, yeah, I wanted to say something about that. Yeah,
I mean,
induced jealousy is it's a
that's
no-go. I
just
feel
that's just weird.
that's like manipulative. I feel
It's
it kind of
very manipulative. Like
doesn't that go against what was it 17 lesson 17
it does, but it doesn't. Because
or
here's the
is
thing.
it 7? I don't know.
Because 17 is congruence, right?
Okay,
And, you
okay.
know that's fine. The reason it doesn't go against it is with 15, it's it's you're not trying to like on them. It's
Jeez.
you're just saying things that make them feel competitive for you, right? And as stated in the lesson, it can be done with pre-selection or DHV, which are two concepts that are whatever. In the series, Sungi uses pre-selection by basically going, "Wow, damn girl, your food's kind of good. It's goated. Give me more, please, now." And then through that, Senna's like, I can cook. I can make food. I'm better than her.
but you can't though.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
apparently it tastes like roadkill or like a tire.
Rubber.
Rubber, yeah, like a rubber tire. Which is yikes. That lesson, gonna be real, maybe don't try that one out at home.
Yeah.
That's that's one that I don't think's a great idea. Some other ones in here, they're fine. Like this, it's okay.
Oh yeah, I kind of have a question. So
Yeah.
why is lesson 17 is congruence, right? But then why is lesson 16 there is no skill of lore? Shouldn't the last lesson be there is no skill of lore?
Translation.
Well, because
I
they
don't know.
they skipped 16 before,
Yeah, but I mean, I think that should be the last lesson.
I mean, well, because technically speaking, the congruence factor comes up like after they're in the relationship, I guess, if you think about it like that. Like at least the example shown was like, oh, they're already kind of together, so it's like after the point. I don't know. I'm talking out of my
No, I just meant like in terms
ass.
of like lesson numbers.
Well, yeah, I know. Like the I don't know, man. I guess it probably should have been the last lesson, but
Oh.
it wasn't. So I mean, and again,
well.
there's no lesson 7, so
Mhm.
whatever.
The mystery
I
lesson.
feel like when I really got invested into the stories when Sungi became a Chad for the first time and rejected Yura.
Yes.
I don't know.
true.
That's when I felt like, well, okay, finally the series is picking up. He goes all anime wide eye, and
It
that was pretty great.
the
Pretty great.
that moment when Sungi just tells Yura's like, oh, I know this great restaurant we should go to, and he just turns around, smiles, and goes, you buying? Oh my god, I lost, bro. Damn, I was not prepared for how Chad that man was in that moment. I mean, that was beautiful, truly. I that was definitely, that's the moment that you get like hooked, I think, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty early on, so you get hooked pretty quick, I think. And that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
And that was lesson 10, which is the art of rejection. Just beautiful. Yeah. So, is there anything else you guys want to talk about in particular?
Maybe about how
About Huang Jie?
yeah, actually I know, yeah, about how Huang Jie, dude, he's shitting himself every single chapter. Like, what is wrong with this man?
Full.
It's like he eats, like he just chews on lactose for breakfast every single day.
I mean, yeah, like,
Yes, Taco Bell every single time.
He just absolutely just lets rip the massive cannon in his butt all the time, just because he can, or to like help the protagonist out. And it's like, how are you so good at that? Like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Maybe I don't know, yeah, once you become the Riz God, you just have full control of your every single function in your body.
You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me, nearing the end of this story, when Yura starts like getting hot for Huang Jie.
Yeah.
And there's the scene where she like gives him food.
But it's like
secretly.
bad, right?
It's like bad, and it gives him like stomach pain or food poisoning or whatever.
He's like always farting.
And he was farting all the time, and then also he was like, you could see in his face he looked like dead inside, and then it showed like the Europe POV where she's like, oh my god, he's hot!
Oh my god, yeah,
as he's just like, what was with, okay, I'll say I was very upset that they didn't conclude the Euro kind of plot point there.
Actually, yeah, that's true.
Because she was getting hot for Huang Jie, and they never like went specifically and went, hey, like Huang Jie never went, hey yo, you tried to leech off my boy. Sorry, I may got Riz, but you ain't it. You know, I wish I could have seen that moment, because that would have been beautiful, truly.
Has Wang Jie's mustache been mentioned yet?
No. His mustache reappears
grows
all the time. It's grody, but at the same time, it grows back in seconds, bro. In seconds.
It kind of expands on the point where Brayden said, where if you have become the Riz God, you just have,
yeah, you just control
control
every single part of your body, just full control. I mean, that's okay. Actually, that brings me up another thing. That reminds me, in one of the lessons, I forget which one. I think it was... Oh, which one was it? Oh, I don't remember. Okay, in one of the lessons, he, like, says, hey, you know, if you want to, like... I think it was for, establishing a close rapport, lesson 8. Pacing was one of the parts of the lesson for establishing a rapport with someone, which was matching your movements, breathing, and feelings.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, when you are the Riz God, you can just match all of your body, your like blood flow to theirs, and it's like, what? What is with that? I mean, that's goofy. It's goofy as hell.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but apparently I don't have enough Riz to match my
to change my blood pressure.
Yeah.
Like what?
Like what is with that?
Match their blood type.
Like
Okay,
the other parts of lesson 8 are fine. The like mirroring their actions, or like repeating important words or whatever. Like fine. I'll give you that. But What? Matching their movements and breathing? What are you on about? That is goofball stuff. That's goober
Well,
material.
I guess their thinking was that like if someone's just relaxed and you're like, I get that, but maybe they should have clarified that a little better.
I
I don't
mean,
know.
yeah, because it's not like, oh my god, we're so in sync. Our breathing and blood pressure is
Yeah,
the
like,
same.
what?
No, it's not. It's like, it's just, oh, we're on the same page. You know, I don't think it comes.
You know, I think he has a good point. Actually, I think that's pretty romantic.
Oh yeah, you ever been with a
Just-
chick and been like, damn girl, is your blood pressure 124? Cause mine is too. Like, no, you haven't checked blood pressure midday. You haven't put on the thing that pumped it up and then, oh my god, my wrist feels like the blood flowing in it. Yeah, like you haven't done that. You haven't done that. There's no need. It's just kind of just being. It's not like matching up with them. It's just being in a similar sync, I guess. I don't know. That's stupid. It's dumb. That's all. That's all I got for that one. Lesson
Yeah.
is dumb. Other lesson. Okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What's up?
Oh.
They mistranslated. They mistranslated. I knew it. There are 2 lesson 10s. Oh my god.
What?
Lesson 10, negative, the art of rejection, and lesson 10,
Unless you wrote it wrong though, but I don't know.
I didn't, I promise you. Lesson 10, see
Maybe
someone.
maybe one of them is lesson 7.
I think the negative is lesson 7. So, yeah.
Okay.
Lesson 10 is actually a good one for kind of how goofy it is. The lesson is literally love yourself before you love others, except
Yeah.
it's shown as when you see someone that you think is hot, repeat the phrase 10 times in your mind. I am a decent guy and I'm pretty great. That's the lesson. And like, yeah, I guess, but I'm gonna be real. If you're like depressed as hell, that's not gonna do anything.
Yeah, I feel like that just make you like even more nervous because it's like it's like if
You're
in
trying
that
to
mental
hype
state,
yourself. It's like you're trying to hype yourself
you're lying
up.
to yourself.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I'm a good guy. I'm great. And then you get there and you look at them and you're like,
Oh my god, she's a goddess. I can't do this right now, man.
oh wait,
Well, okay, that actually, think about that. That completely goes against lesson 17. So,
yeah,
Mm.
true.
kind of.
but maybe this is advice for, like, once you're like out of the I don't know.
I guess if you're, it's advice. That's advice that helps if you're not depressed. To be fair, you know, just the important key aspect is you need to love yourself before you love someone else, which makes perfect sense, obviously. And I think for some people, they should hear about that because you don't want to get in a relationship if you're not ready for one. And if you don't already like yourself, then you're not ready for one. I mean, that's just clear. And I think that part isn't totally brought up too much in the story. I think it's made a little bit clear by like Huang Jie being like, "Hey man, you're chill, you're good, you're being chilling," as they say.
You're not a pervert.
You're
Yeah.
not a pervert. You're fine. But I think it is glossed over just a tiny bit. I feel like if they put just a tiny bit more effort in being like, okay, this is about loving yourself before others and not call yourself pretty good looking and decent looking and you're pretty good. Just, oh, you're good, man. You're good. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it probably would have been a bit. That point would have come across a bit better. Is all I think.
You know, something that I just noticed in chapter 14 when those pickup artists try getting like Senna. I for a second I thought that the guy with long hair was Hot Bunk Man for a second. I just
Oh,
realized
yeah.
that. I don't know. Right? Doesn't he look like him, right?
I guess.
Like the hair is the exact same.
14, you said?
14, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It does look like him. Same
so
face
whenever-
syndrome, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, so like whenever I was reading it, I thought like, huh? But weren't we introduced to this guy before? I don't know.
That is
I
interesting, yeah.
And then
Maybe
when-
that
and then
is
when-
him.
And then when he saw, but yeah, because when he saw Senna, he's like, "Oh, that's my target." I was like, "But didn't you go for her before?"
Hmm.
So, like,
I don't
I
know.
don't know. I don't know.
It definitely looks similar. I can see that. I'll put it up on screen.
Mm.
A comparison of the two.
Yeah, comparison. I don't know. That's interesting. I didn't notice that. And then I guess the last piece of advice that this series gives that I think I want to touch on is obviously the most important advice, and also in chapter 14. Putting girls on a pedestal is a bad idea, baby.
Putting anyone on a pedestal.
Putting anyone on a
Yeah,
pedestal
really putting anyone on a
sucks.
pedestal is a bad idea.
It is a bad idea, but the reasoning here, I quite like it. The reasoning is a girl is only special because you see her as special, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which means she's not actually special. You are special. The most important character is you. I like that. It's a little egotistical, but at the same time, I like it because it's just being, if you see someone as special, that's cool, but they're not. It's only because you see them that way.
Yeah.
You can still treat them specially, but don't treat them sort of unfairly, I guess.
Yeah.
Unfairly to you.
Yeah, unfairly to you.
That's just.
That's how I see it, and obviously, that's just a good lesson. It's good. It is this whole series. It's just a guidebook for loner losers. Don't take out everything, obviously, but
Don't take everything at face value.
I mean, yeah, you reenacting fiction, bad idea. I think.
I mean,
that's-
you can try, and then you can send us what the.
yeah. Tell us.
Yeah.
Comment down below and tell us how that goes.
Yeah, tell us how inducing jealousy. will work.
Yeah, tell us how your inducing jealousy goes. I'm quite curious about that.
I wanna. Maybe if someone paid me, I'll try.
If someone paid you,
If someone
Yeah.
paid you?
oh, that's big. Unfortunately, we get nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to go over? I want to end this by going over the ending, and that's all.
No, I think
Yeah. I think
ending's
we
good.
can. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so after chapter 33, man confesses, he succeeds. In the last 3 chapters, they're not much, but they're just nice. I think 34. You can skip 35, or at least for this case, I'm gonna skip 35. But 34 is also just a good lesson. Huang Jie. So Sunggi gets in the relationship with Senna and just is worried that she regrets being in this relationship with him. She doesn't love me. Oh no, what's happening? She's avoiding me. And Huang Jie just says, bro, calm down. Trust the person you love. Trust them and just and you'll be fine, right? It's take your time, trust them, be understanding, and that's great. And then a little time skip happens, and it shows Sunggi as also a Riz god. Still with Senna. We see Bum Man, who's being forced into the military for being stupid, being a Riz failure.
Yeah.
Own Bum Man. And then the series ends on 2 things. First, the author directly tells the reader, hey, if there's someone you hold dear and they don't know that, just go tell them. Just do it, right? And then the series ends with the full circle of Huang Jie finding another poor incel loser and helping him get better with girls. And
Yeah,
that's
I
just
think that was a good ending.
that is
Where
just
it's like the
it's just
cycle continues of
yeah,
just helping.
the cycle
I think that was
continues of just Huang Jie teaching dudes to be better and improve, and
To
that's
be
just
fair,
nice.
the dude kind of looks like Huang Jie in his pre-Riz
Yeah,
form,
and
but
actually,
his
yeah.
backstory. How I see it is this ending. It's like it's I almost take it as Huang Jie extending his hand to, I guess, the reader in this sense.
oh,
And
okay.
maybe this is a little deeper meaning, but I see it as like it ending it's ending by handing like this advice to the reader, right?
Mm,
Huang Jie's reaching his hand out to you. He's giving the reader this advice. You should take it. You know, take that hand.
that's
Shake the
fair.
poor sinner's hand. um, and
You know,
that's just how I see it. And I think that's a great way to end it. You know, it's
yeah, you know, a lot of you know how like a lot of rom-com end on the confession.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like first of all, I'm glad that they gave at least 3 chapters
Yeah.
as a consolidation, but also it kind of makes sense for them to end around that area because you know like most rom-coms are just rom-coms, they're based on the romance, but
yeah,
this like since this is like a guidebook almost like what I think if the series meandered on them dating too much, it would kind of lose the point of
yeah.
the
The point would be
manhwa.
lost if we got too much of just them doing relationship stuff.
I mean,
The
yeah, they could
and
have been
that's
like a side
I think
sequel,
that's
but
what this series does so well. I said this before, but it's it's small. It's short, but it's sweet, right? It goes in with a point, and it succeeds at
With
telling.
that.
It exceeds at making its point, and
Hmm.
that's what you want from a good piece of fiction. Just
yeah.
short, sweet, and to the point.
Mm-hmm.
Ties everything up together. A nice little bow tie.
Yeah, exactly.
A
Well,
big guy with
Yeah.
decent style.
I guess that was
Yeah.
Skill of Lure.
Yeah.
If you liked listening to us talk, subscribe, like, comment. Yeah, do all those
Yeah.
fun things.
Yeah.
And
Hit the bell button.
hit the
Whoa.
bell, baby.
Hit the bell.
Uh, this will probably be a bi-weekly thing, hopefully. Reading a full manga series in 1 week is hard.
Especially in
So,
3 hours. Yeah.
oh, I bet it is, Brayden. I
Yep.
bet it is.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, we'll be back soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.